to Twitter.
Hey everyone. Yeah, I need to get the link because I'm not used to that yet to get the link myself for the actual thing. Did you get a ding for it being
I
live?
just did.
Okay, can you put the link up in on Facebook Author Tube if you can? I don't know if you can
Yeah,
open it
I
or not.
can. I'll do it. I'll do it real quick.
Okay, cool. Hey everyone, so this is Getting It Written tonight's stream. This is my extra stream of the week. Me and Aphrodite does this every week, usually on Tuesdays, but I added a Saturday to it as well because I felt like it. So, and we have the awesome DL Stewart with us as well, and he joins us from time to time when he is able. So,
Yeah, so they can make me feel bad because I don't have a D. That's all right. I still ain't.
Hey, we all can be DLs. It's all right.
Not everybody can be as cool as us.
This is true.
I'm cool adjacent. So
this is true. Well, we all can't have goddess names. You know what I'm saying? Like, can't always be that cool. Like,
that you get to blame hippie parents for that.
Mm-hmm. That's a good name.
I can't even take credit.
No. Just don't be a prettier woman than her come up and say something. You might get smited. I'm just saying. No, Aphrodite was known for that.
Aphrodite would definitely had some issues.
Yeah, she did. This is true.
But she was a good fighter, though, too. People forget that. So.
Oh, well, it's not surprising. She is a god. So, all right. So you want to do introductions, DL? You want to go first?
I'm DL Stewart. I write adult medieval fantasy. Today I will be working on a case for work, and if I get far enough into it, I might take a break and start working on book 2 of my Metagore series.
Yeah, book 2. I gotta read book 1, so I'm going to do. All right, Aphrodite, you want to do introduction?
Hey everyone, I'm Aphrodite Lee. Lunatic, crazy person. I'm not sure what I do in life. But tonight I am going to finish. I'm going to load my document up into KDP so I can get my art copies out, and I'm going to finish lesson planning my boot camp that I have for my patrons. That's what I'm doing tonight. So I'm not doing all the creative stuff that I usually do, but still creative stuff.
I was gonna say that's still some creative stuff, though. Yeah. All right. As you may or may not know, I'm author DL Tillery. Got 2 DLs in the house tonight. So I write paranormal, romance, horror, and fantasy, and I mix those together at times. I even have one I call paranormal espionage romance. So go figure with that. And so this is my channel. I do streams on Tuesdays and on Saturdays every other week for the Tuesday, and on Saturday every week from now on, at least until I get my pre-recorded videos back up and running. But I'm getting a new program soon, so that will be starting back soon. But until then, streaming all the way. And this new streaming is pretty cool, actually, I might say. Works out pretty well. And I will be working on Chronicles of Cagliostro's revision tonight. Still working on that. That's pretty much what all I'm going to be working on straight through until I'm finished with the revision. Revisions are not fun. And like, oh my God, sometimes I feel like I'm rewriting the entire book. But
that's usually the pace.
Yeah, that's pretty much the pace. So it's putting me through the paces, so to speak.
When it's high fantasy, it feels like no matter what, when you go back into your next writes, it's rewriting it feels like you're writing another book.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of something else there, and I'm having a slight dilemma that I came across that I noticed at the beginning of the book. When I start, it's in Cagliostro's vision, so his POV, but about quarter of the way through the first chapter, it seems to shift a little bit more to Allison, which I didn't want really. But as I'm reading it, I'm like, this is definitely shifting to Allison, and I don't really want it to be. I mean, it's the Chronicles of Cagliostro, though they technically can still be partially through the other characters, eyes, but I don't really want that. Of course, I know if I was doing just traditional publishing, if they read it that way, the editor would be like, or the publishing house would be like, we think that Allison would be a better main character, blah, blah, blah. I already know that that's probably what happened. I'm like, that's not what's going down here. Okay. Like, so self-publishing, thank you for that. But yeah, so I have to kind of rework the beginning of the book a little bit because of the shifting of the POV, and I don't really want it. So that's means scenes that I was writing that Allison was is her point of view. I have to switch it to his point of view, which of course changes a lot of the scenes because
Right.
obviously if Cagliostro was not in the room, and
Right.
if she was the one part where she goes into the bathroom to take a shower, obviously Cagliostro wasn't even in the room, the other room, so he was some in another part of the manor. So obviously that entire scene changes. So
Exactly.
I'm like, oh God, why did I do this to myself?
But you know what? Still, don't fret. You
Yeah,
know,
I'm
what
not.
the thing is like regardless however it's coming to you, just
Yeah.
get it out.
Yeah,
Because
I
trust
know.
me, your creative mind will figure out a way to make it work.
Yeah, I know. I'm just looking at him like,
Like, oh shit, I can't write it like that because he wouldn't know about that. I had
right.
a lot
I
of
know I could always do it from her point of view, even so in that chapter, but I kind of like, I don't know, it just happened. Allison started being like
she took
main POV where I didn't want her to be main POV, and it's my fault for not paying attention because I was kind of just like flushing the story out, and it would make sense at the time. But now that I'm like, okay, this isn't making sense for what I wanted it to do, so now I got to change. I mean, the scene's already in my head, so I just have to change perspective of what's happening when. So it's not that big a deal, but it's still something that you still like. Fuck, why did I do that?
right. Yeah, it's fixable. That's the thing. Fixable. I had a lot of problems with my Pooey character.
Yeah.
Where I had to remember that Pooey is not telling the story.
Yeah, right.
So, but I got out of it when I changed entirely that I'm writing it third person, limited. So I was able to get away with everything at that point.
That's why I like third person omniscient. So
Yeah.
I don't have to really worry about it.
I'm thinking maybe I'm overthinking it sometimes. I'm like, is there enough conversation happening in this part? I mean, am I narrating this too much, or is this not narrated enough? And I'm having to, that type of thing. So I'm sitting there like,
don't drive you so crazy.
You can when you're right. You're like,
just tell it. Just tell it. You can go back when you're hearing it and you're reading it. You go, oh no, and you'll trust me. While you're just dumping it out, don't even limit yourself.
I mean, I wish it was just when I was first drafting, but unfortunately, it was not. The book is finished, and then I'm revising now because of the holes that I felt that it had, and I wanted to add the new epiphany that I had all of a sudden after I wrote the book. Like, why didn't you think of this when you were writing the book? Like, but it's still better.
Just be glad it's not published yet, because then you can't.
No, dude, no.
I mean, there are people who cheat and change their books, but don't do that. Be clever in your next book and figure it out.
Oh, this is really helpful too on this StreamYard that I can actually read all the comments up on the screen. I'll have to actually.
You don't have to go to YouTube.
It is very, very useful.
It's so awesome.
It is very useful. So I actually like this. Oh, okay.
Because that made me happy when I tried it the first time.
Yeah.
And I realized that I don't have to have the two things open now because it's on StreamYard as well. And then you click one of them. If you click one, it comes up on the screen.
Yeah, I see that. That's pretty cool.
So that's what made me really happy. I was like, hey, I can read it and see it. How about that?
You can get the chat on the StreamYard page?
Yeah, so when you use it, it'll be like, you can click over here and it says
comments. Click on one.
When you're running it, it's comments. Oh, click on one? Okay.
Yeah, click on
something. Show. And short is a new one about newer people. So, hey.
Yeah, I think they've commented on a couple of my videos.
Yeah, so new to it. Actually, I think short actually subscribed to you and I both earlier today or yesterday. I got a comment from them, so thanks for the comment.
Yeah, I think I got one like yesterday. I actually realized that some of my comments have been like not showing up. It'd give me like the notification, and then I'd click on it and then show it wasn't there.
I know.
And I think it was like one of theirs when I was finally like, I'm figuring this out.
Right.
And then apparently it goes to like a spam folder, like it might be spam or something. You have to approve it.
Right. I don't know why some comments.
But it only does it to some people. Like for some reason,
not everyone.
Yeah, because I know. I think whenever I looked, I had like 7 messages. I think 2 was from that person, and then I had like 2 or 3 from Aphrodite, and I have no idea. One was like, "Don't make me hungry" or something.
Oh, Short says because they're ninja. Oh, okay, I see. They incognito. I get you.
Yeah, I mean, I get some from some people, and then others are just like spam. I was like, it's the same person. What?
Thank
some of
you.
that stuff's
I
spam?
know. It's so weird when it does that. I keep going to check my stuff because you never know when something's there. And I'm like, why is this even
Yeah,
in
I didn't
here?
even know about it until yesterday.
I'm like, who's not doing their job? They're putting stuff in the wrong place. I know it's probably done by like
No, you
keywords
had
or
one
something.
damn job.
One job.
Come on, just go ahead and put it on there. If I don't like it, or I think it's spam, I can delete it myself.
Thank you. Like, give us a choice.
Yeah,
I'm trying to censor us.
don't try to hide it. 'cause
No,
I
they
didn't know what was going on.
see Aphrodite and they go, that bitch is in porn.
Yeah, they had everything. That's too good.
My one friend, she can't even look at my channel some kind of way that she has her browser set up or something.
Oh, it's like blocking you.
Can't
You're like
even
over
look at my
18.
channel. I'm like, I don't have smut on my channel. And she said, well, it's blocking you.
It just knows you're going to be smutty.
Yeah, how do you use
It knows me.
the chat on a StreamYard? All I'm seeing is a private chat.
Yeah, because I think
you probably can't see it. Let me explain.
Yeah, I was gonna say when Aphrodite was running it. When you're running your own on StreamYard, I think it has the options over here on the side with banners, brand, and comments.
Yeah. Right. We can't see it. All we see is private chat.
Okay.
We can see a whole bunch of stuff.
So it's just like the host or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently.
Okay. I thought y'all talking about y'all can see it now. I was like, oh, that's it's private chat.
I know. Same thing I said last time. She said something to you. I was like, what are you talking about? I don't see it. What?
Yeah, I know. I got on there the other day and kind of messed around with it myself.
Yeah.
But I didn't really go live or anything.
I just had a ball with it.
Yeah, it's pretty simple to run it too, and then the wording size is pretty good. So
I was like, man, F Google Hangouts. This is the bomb.
Well, we glad Google Hangouts is gone now, I guess. Huh?
I talked to the boys over at StreamYard, and I was like, thank you guys so much. They're just laughing at me because I'm like having a good old time with them. And they were like, well, what else do you like about it? What's blah, blah, blah? What can we change? I'm like, oh, y'all want to talk to me? Y'all messed up, man. I'll talk. Y'all don't know what y'all did.
You asked me questions? What? So tonight's theme for questions is a touch of your process. So the first question is, how do you start writing your novel? Who wants to grab that one first? And anyone in the comments can answer that as well.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
How do you start writing your novel? Like, what's your first step to start writing your novel? Yeah.
You go, Mr. Stewart.
Well, I mean, after I kind of came up with an idea, I started kind of outlining the major key points and kind of get that all sorted out. And I'll go back and start outlining more minor points to kind of connect from each of the major ones. And then I'll kind of develop characters and then go back and outline again to give each character kind of their own arc or plot line or whatever.
Cool. Aphrodite,
it depends on how the story came to me.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, oh, I got this idea, blah blah blah, and then I just dump whatever comes to me. I literally just type whatever they'll write it, depending on where I'm at. And but actually starting writing the book itself, once I feel like I develop the characters more.
Yep.
Because even no matter what story I get, if I get an idea for a story, and I might write that plot out a little bit, till I actually have the beings that are going to be walking around in it, I do not start writing the story yet.
Mm-hmm.
So the easy way for me to figure out, to move forward is to know who all the people, because they're not always people, but who the people are in it, and then I drop them in that situation and go. Yeah,
that's cool.
I mean, oh my God.
Oh, that's cool. I'll check the comments in a minute. I'll have my whole thing where I call this steps before outlining, because I do so much stuff before I do the outline. But once the idea comes to me, usually I build around character in most cases. So usually the main character storyline comes to me first, and then if I usually go that route, if that's how it came to me, usually that's how it does. But usually I will first have my character bios kind of start that way. So my main character starts, and then once my main character whole thing starts up, then I kind of just start having like, I guess, what do you want to say, visions in my head of the world that I'm building that's going to come from the character. And then I build around that. I may jot down some notes about the world. If it's a world building based world, and it's not just built, based in our world, it's a little bit less involved in that. But then I tend to, then I have like the antagonist and then the character that may be the love interest or whoever the sub main character is. So I tend to build around like the character bios that I do first, and they're usually small bios at first until I start adding in on them.
Right.
And then from there, I just do a whole bunch of other things before I ever start my outline. So all that, I have a whole series on like my steps before outlining thing that I do, process that I do, and then once I get to the outline thing, that's the fun part because that's like the blueprint of my book. So that's how I used to get started. Ideas get jotted down, and then character bios. Then I build. I usually build based off my character, main character, and then all my subplots and stuff come usually from my sub characters in most cases, and build around the main character. I kind of always seem to start that way. Dude, I have so many stories; it's ridiculous. After I send you some of my book covers and stuff yesterday.
You did?
Yeah, those ones that I send you were my book covers to the actual books that I'm writing. Those those 3 or 4 that I send you, I got like 50.
Yeah. I can't see them. I have to pull them somewhere else before.
I know.
That's why I haven't posted them.
I think I sent you like 4 of them. I think they're just the teasers.
Okay.
So yeah, that's actually for the book. I have a book cover problem. You know that.
Yeah. I was giving you a link to a new site, and I said no. I can't.
The girl don't need Don't be feeding my addiction. You become a dealer or something for me. But yeah, so let me read these comments here about Rebecca. Yeah. All right. So
I can't see where you are.
So also said.
Oh, click one. Yay.
Precision. I think I click on that one. Okay, yeah, there you go. And Firefly said just start writing. Okay, if I'm going to talk about outline, then I'm hardcore plotter. Well, usually whatever your first steps are, that's also like usually before you probably get to the outline, because I didn't really bring that up as your first step because usually it's not the first step in most cases. But also not everybody is a outliner. There are writers that are just
my outlining is the last step in my process of like my pre-writing stuff.
Yeah, you kind of
once I write the outline, that's when I set up my folders and files and stuff so I can start knocking it out. But I do a lot of stuff before I get to the outline.
And then Firefly said, after the story is done, I go back and plot. Well, that's an interesting way. I usually line. So I do, that's my process. I do have like my plots and everything are already done before I outline in most cases. Scenarios, scenes, and all that stuff. You try to work all that out in them, like the whole blueprint before I even write the book. Start writing it.
Because I write, like, I understand what you're saying, Firefly, because I write a lot of shit down long before I actually start writing the book. What I mean by writing the book, though, is like when I decide now, okay, I'm getting ready to start the whole thing, getting it done, I have done all that other stuff. I've written scenes out, or this idea came to me as a subplot. I write that kind of stuff down. I keep a really good Bible. I really do. So once that stops in my brain and I'm like, okay, I have all my puzzle pieces. Now I'm going to go ahead and make the puzzle. Then I start with the actual writing of the book. But trust me, I could have notebooks and notebooks full of stuff long before that point. You know what I mean? Like, I've been writing the whole time. I just wasn't legit writing the book.
Yeah. Tamara said my first step is writing down whatever scene I thought of. As I'm writing, I start to get a better idea of the characters in the story. Yep. Good. Short said, I can't relate to that. So many stories. I've got plot summary stashed on every device I have. Yeah, I feel that. A lot of those. A lot of those. I don't even, sorry for that. And then being a short story writer too, I'm not even, those things is just like forever. All right, so we're gonna.
I wish I was good at writing short stories. I am going to practice.
They're fun. I mean, you could get to the point quicker. I mean, I find that with horror, that's my thing. I usually write a lot of short horror stories. I can write longer ones too, but I think I prefer when I'm writing my horror to do short horror stories because they kind of like you get all freaked out and then it's like it's over. You're never gonna know what's gonna happen next. Like
Oh no,
trying to get you, man. Because a lot of the best horror things is like really short things, or you never find out exactly where this creature came from or where this monster came from. Or what's a lot of that. Everyone makes sequels to stuff, but sometimes even with horror movies, when they got sequels, you still never find out everything you want to know. And it's like,
that's part of the genre of horror though. So I dig that.
Oh, how do you write? I think what's this? That's what I said. How do you write short horror? Oh, that's like the easiest, in my opinion. I mean, I can't say this for everybody, but I don't know. That's what I do. I just write short horror is like the easiest thing ever. Like
Anytime I try to write, or I tell myself, okay, I'm going to write this short story, and then I realize I'm 40,000 words in.
girl, you told
I'm
40,000 words.
time.
Oh my god, 40,000 words. Is like,
like,
well, she wrote a novel. It's too late.
It's short. It's still short. Yeah, it's still short. That's
well,
short.
I think I made a. I think I don't know if I made that, but I think I made that video and I didn't get a chance to put it up about writing short horror. But once I get my thing back up and running, then I'll put it up. But
Encounters was short.
yeah, you can write, and I mean anything can be made into a short story. I mean, as far as like genre or whatever. But I think horror works really well in my opinion with it. So I have no problem writing it and be like, and you're dead, like, and then that's it. And it's over.
Oh, he did.
And you're dead, like or you're chewed up, or you whatever, and this and that, or like hit the bottom line already, and it's like only like 1,500 words. And like most of my short horror stories, I mean, I can go longer, but I don't. Most of my short horror stories are like 3,000 and under. In most cases, once I edit them, then some of them can be like 1,800 words or whatever. But usually, you get in like roughly like. What do you say? So about like 4 pages, 3 pages in some cases.
Oh my god, I wish I could do that.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta think about it's like 300 something words on one page or whatever, so you're not gonna get that many. Like,
We come out. That's Stewie. If that's the case, Stewie would have like 12 books every night. Like oh, I just wrote 800 words.
It's fun. It's fun.
I started a short story once.
Look at him so about once. It probably turned into an epic deal.
Well, Metagore was just going to be like originally when I first outlined Metagore, it was like literally 20 chapters, and I was pushing it, and it ended up being like 58 something chapters, I think. So yeah, it was just going to be a standalone. And
you're going to be known as the epic guy.
No, I did start a short story. I haven't finished it or anything. I don't know how much I've actually got into it. Maybe like 1,000 words or something.
Yeah,
but that's what the thing with Encounters being short. Encounters was also kind of a cheat because you had to remember that the character was jumping into different scenarios each chapter. So there's no beginning. You know what I'm saying? She didn't have a beginning and end in those chapters because she kept leaping.
Yeah,
it's like quantum leap. Like she kept leaping into the next one. So I got away with that because. She literally was leaping into the scenarios, figuring out what the hell to do, and then as soon as she figured it out, she's leaping into the next scenario. Those stories technically were still happening.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I got it, but that was still like 27,000 words.
There you know.
I tried. I really did.
Okay. I mean, if you can't. Not everybody can write. So.
It's not. I don't have that yet.
Between everybody. All right, but we're gonna start the first sprint too. What time we're at? We're at like 8:25, so we're gonna start at 8:25 and do a 20-minute sprint. And then when we come back, I'll be strict after that. I promise. So we'll talk.
We're not gonna let Aphrodite talk as much.
It's okay. It's writer's talk. It's not like sometimes we get off on a tangent or something else, but this was writer's talk, so it's okay. So we'll do 5 minute talks, and then we'll do. You guys want to do 15 or 20 minute sprints?
20.
20.
I
Okay.
don't care.
Yeah, I
I'll
know
make
Yeah.
DL.
sure
I'm
that
mad at you, DL. You just gonna get all those words done anyway. No time.
I'm going to be working, so probably not that much. But yeah,
I know, right? You gotta work, work, work. Work is work.
work, work,
yeah.
work, work, work.
Yeah.
Especially when they want to give it to you at the last minute.
Yeah, I know, right? That's always fun. Like, really, guys, get better on your game. Um.
My boss is pissed off about it.
Oh, I'm sure. That shit's supposed to be like Wednesday. Like, what? Look at it. We're talking about 5 minute sprints, 20 minute talks.
Yeah.
That's funny when we get much right done with that. All right, so I'm going to count us out. 3, 2, 1, and right. We'll be back in 20 minutes. I will leave the timestamp in the comments. All righty, time's up. All right. How did everyone do?
I got about
pissed.
I got about 4 minutes of audio done.
Cool.
I am pissed
Why?
because I do not understand why my computer, or rather Word, is giving me such a fucking hard time. And why every time I change something to what the fuck I want, it keeps taking it back. Like I'm really, I'm.
I know. You know how those
That is pissing me off so bad. This is like the 8th time.
Oh boy.
And I don't know why it keeps fucking doing it.
Uh-oh.
Excuse my French. I'm so mad right now. Like,
it's okay. You're using it in the right context, as per the British. I'm just saying. I curse all the time. It's not as if I'm cursing anyone out. And if I'm not cursing anyone out, I'm not using bad language. I'm just saying.
I curse people out all the time, so
I'm sure you had to come and
I
do
ain't ashamed.
I'm rarely
funny because when someone deserves to be cursed out, that's usually when I don't. I'm the person that belittles you to the point that you feel about this big, and I don't have to use one curse word. You'll wish I'd use curse words when I'm done. That's what I've been told. So there's that. So I curse on my regular, so that's probably why I don't curse too much on when I'm angry, Danny.
Yeah, I don't cuss as much when I get mad with other people.
Yeah,
I cuss like a sailor when I'm mad.
People still get a little weirded out when you curse all the time. Like, whoop. Like, the time that I shouldn't curse would be, if I'm in an argument with someone. Let's say I'm having an argument. I'm not an argumentative type. Usually I just get my point because I only usually try to speak on facts. I try not to just speak my opinion, especially when you're speaking your opinion when you're freaking wrong. Like, don't do that. Be like, well, I hate when people say this. Your truth. Be like, first off, there's no your truth. There's the truth. There's
what you want to believe.
I'll be like, there's no your truth. The truth is not your friend. It doesn't just be like, well, today I'm going to pick Danny's side. That's not really how that works, okay? So you either want to speak facts, but please do your best not to talk about things you don't know about because then you look like a fool, and we don't need that. But I'm sure that thing, hopefully that'll start working for you after that.
Oh, I'm going to lose my
I
mind.
know. Try to take deep breaths. Deep breaths.
Oh, if
Dude,
it moves it one more time, all I'm saying is I'm gonna go back through, and if it moves it one more time,
I know. I get you. I know. All right, so everyone did. Someone did pretty good. Alec got 246 words, very good. Sky got 194 and did some admin stuff. Michael got 195 minutes, very good. Um, half a scene finished, very good. And let's see if anybody else got anything else to say about that. They probably just don't know what we're talking about. That's pretty funny.
oh, I'm so mad.
What's that? Sky said, do you find I cuss more about situations that anger me rather than people who make me angry? Yeah, true. I
Yeah,
will
I get pissed off at stuff I
sure.
can't control. That's what
Yeah,
most
I
of my
will
cussing
curse.
is.
Yeah.
Or if
Yeah.
something's not working the way
That
it's
makes me
supposed to
feel a
work.
little bit better, especially when something I can't control. I have to curse it out. I'm just saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I don't really cuss out people if they
Yeah,
make me mad. I
yeah, I do
literally, I get into you, man. You pissed me off. You really made a mistake.
that. This is
It takes a
Yeah.
lot to make me mad.
I know. I
Yeah, I
feel
used to work at a factory, and there's one guy that I just didn't get along with at all, and I probably threw like everything I could grab my hands on at him.
yeah. It's like, man, it's like people just don't make me angry. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's just.
I
I
don't
it
know
takes a
why.
lot to push me to my limit, but once I snap, I snap.
Yeah, I feel you there.
I don't know why it is though. I never cuss at people like I'm more casual with it. But if I actually get mad with you,
Yeah.
I the cussing goes the other way. I don't cuss.
I'm usually not an argumentative type. I mean, as far as like getting angry while having a discussion of some sort, unless it literally is like a person who's a narcissist or something like that, then we're not going to have a very fun time. Let's just say. Worst thing you could do in a conversation with me or a disagreement or whatever it may be is to tell me to shut up.
Oh
That
my
ooh,
goodness.
if you
Uh,
tell me to shut up and I don't know anything, that's going to put me in a place where you don't want to be.
Oh,
So then it's over. I don't care anything else you have to say. I can't hear you because you just told me to shut up because somehow you think you're my God. And,
never tell a chick to shut
and then
up.
you're going to tell me that I don't know anything. Because usually I'm not going to talk about a subject unless I actually studied up on it, read up on it, things of that nature. Because I'm very much into being intellect, having intellect, and I'm not. So somebody tells me, shut up, you don't know anything. I'm like, all right, this conversation is over because I think you're an idiot now.
Yeah, it's rare. It's very rare for me
Yeah, so
to
well,
fight.
don't go there with me. I'm good.
It's
But
very rare. But the thing is, like, and I, God is still working on me. The thing is, if you do get me to where we're fighting, I do not understand the concept of letting go.
yeah,
Again,
I guess you
God is
sometimes you
working
gotta
on
be the
me.
person to walk away because I just don't need that energy because I don't when I'm not working and then if somebody personal I know and they try to come at me with an argument, like listen, person, because I had to work all day and now I'm in my peace mode. Because when I get home and in my peace mode and then somebody come in my space and be trying to mess with my space, it's not gonna be a good day for them. Because I'm like, dude, I've been dealing with people all day, other human beings and driving, that's enough right there. Then dealing with humans, and it's like, this is my calm down time where I don't want to be bothered with humans getting on my nerves. So I'm like, that's not the time to come at me with some crap. So it's like, no, just try to leave me alone, please. Like,
I do feel really blessed that it does take a lot to get to me though.
yeah, it actually takes a lot, or something like that will piss me off, and to me, it's just disrespect to the point, like because you have to earn respect first off. Obviously, you don't just get respect. I don't care what your title is, whether that is friend, lover, child, parent, or whatever. Because also, if you're a parent, you don't just automatically get respect just because you gave birth to someone. Your respect is also earned. So if you don't give respect, you don't get respect. I'm not that
Oh
person. Like,
hell yeah.
have blood running through our veins. That's the same. So that means you automatically get respect. No, because if you don't, you're still not going to get it from me because I'm a human being just like you. Whether you're a human being that birthed me or not, I'm not a person. That's not me. I treat everybody on the same level. So if you earn that respect from me, then you have that respect because you earned it, not because you have a title of some sort.
But that's how my mom was amazing with that. Like she would make it clear to us, like we're all humans in this experience. If you need
Thank
to say something to me, you say, we had very open dialogue. And it
you.
was one of those, it was safe because you couldn't say, well, my mom's name is Maria. Like, okay, Maria, if I tell you this, then you don't get to get mad because you said I could tell you this kind of thing.
Right.
My parents never broke that rule. Like they were always come to me
That's
with
nice,
it.
man. A lot of people don't have the same.
Yeah, I was lucky. I know I was lucky because
Yeah,
both of my
sometimes
parents felt the
get the
same way.
title. People get the title parent. They think somehow I'm your god. Like, no.
No, my mom used to tell me all the time. She'd tell me I had to do something where if I didn't want to do it, she's like, "This is why I had you. This is why I had a kid."
Right? Yeah, I
Well,
love that one.
Really? Oh my god,
you just fucked yourself up there.
my
Yeah.
mom said the absolute opposite. I will never forget. She was in the kitchen. She was washing dishes and everything. And my mom, I don't know if you know anything about Jewish people. You have to keep kitchen a certain way.
I'm
And
aware.
so I was like, hey, can I help you do blah blah blah? And she'd be like, no, get out. I didn't have kids to wait on me. I didn't have kids to service me. And I'm like, I'm just trying to help you wash the dish, woman. I ain't gonna beg you for no work. Bye.
She said, "I go, yeah, because I'm not telling anybody how to parent. Obviously, did you do what you want to do? Obviously, because I told my mom said, being a child is the last legal slavery. Um, it is really. I mean, no one can help you in most cases. If your parents decide to raise you a certain way, that's what's happening to you.
That
And
is
if
kind of
you're
true.
used to the system, whatever it is, you don't know that they're doing it wrong or doing something wrong to you. I mean, I know a lot of people who were being abused in some way, rather mentally or physically, just did not know that that's what was going down until somehow they're seeing a psychiatrist when they're in their 20s and 30s.
I'm
Like,
sorry if y'all can hear that music. My neighbors have
that's okay.
lost
You
their
told
mind.
me early that he's like got like music banging.
Okay, but he's lost his mind.
He must really like the music. Like, dude, I'm a metalhead, so I know. But see, that's why I live in single family.
No, he got some girls down there. I don't think he want me to hear what's going on. Cause this is ridiculous. My feet are vibrating.
Dude, he trying to make you feel the music, man.
He don't want me come knock on the door. No. See, I don't like. I don't care. Like when you have neighbors, you have neighbors, and when you live in an apartment, you expect certain level. But this has been going on since I woke up.
Dude, that's tiring right
And
there.
I want him to now stop because it doesn't need to be that loud. I'm not listening to what you're doing. The vibrations are in my fucking feet.
Yep. I know, just we'll ignore that because he's just trying to give us some background music. Be like, dude, don't be playing music that loud. They might copyright us for that.
For real.
It's YouTube. But yeah, I was watching
It's the music.
Alec, yeah, that's some parents are like that. Like, no matter what you say, they're gonna say the opposite, and then they're right, no matter what it is. But you have to watch that sometimes because sometimes that could be the sign of a narcissist. So, and a lot of people don't know that they are just because they're obviously a narcissist. So they don't
get it.
Got a lot of narcissistic parents out there.
I 100% know I lucked out on both counts because my parents were similar in how they wanted to do things.
Yeah.
So that was always lucky because then where they weren't similar, then my mom ruled.
Yeah, that's the case in a lot of households anyway. When the mom's just like whatever the final decision. Like my mom wanted to homeschool us, me and my little brother, not my older brother, because she had, we were about 6 years apart, and he's about 10 years apart from my little brother. So he was going to school. And my mom wanted to homeschool us, and my dad was against it. But it didn't matter if he was against it or not. She's like, guess what? I'm the boss, so that's what's happening. So he was like, I don't think it's good socially, blah blah blah. I could agree and disagree with that. Thank God I was homeschooled because there's no way I want to put up with the shit that's in school. And being a goth chick and being a female of color, that wasn't going to roll with those people in school, especially the counties and stuff that we lived in. So I would have had to been in fights and stuff. And I'm just saying I can't fight because I've been in martial arts since I was 4, so I really wouldn't have wanted to have to go into all that. So I've been fighting girls, and I got jealousies from women my entire life because I'm well endowed, and they didn't like me. So that's why I always had guys.
You well endowed, girl, for real.
So I wouldn't have been too good in school. So thank God for that. But my dad had a point about the social thing, but I didn't really want to be like social that way. I don't think it really affected me in that way. I'm a very outgoing person, will know everybody in a room when I go in it. So it didn't really affect me. I think it's person to person. So he just thought of it that way. It's not always the truth because people think that just because you're homeschooled that you're somehow sheltered. I could say
But
you're
it's not
sheltered.
that. Like, I don't know
You're
why people
sheltered.
think
You're
that.
sheltered based on your parents' parenting. My
Yeah.
mom was very protective to the point that it could be a little, to some people, probably crazy in some cases.
Overprotective.
So my mom
Oh,
was.
very extremely overprotective type of thing. But that keeps you safe to a degree. But I think you can be protective and be a more open type of parenting thing. But most parents that are overprotective aren't thinking about that. So it's good in some instances and then not in other instances as well.
Yeah,
Can't
because
be safe,
my
but
mom was pretty. My mom was really good. Like she could wield a baseball bat though. Don't get it twisted.
right. I
She
know.
wasn't no joke. But like my mom was really little too, so
Yeah, my mom's little
she had
too.
Napoleon complex big time. So she actually did have to be a little tougher than normal. But she
Right.
didn't play. But my mom wanted us to go to private school, and my father did not. And that was one thing that they did have a problem
Disagreement.
with. My mom was like, "Well, they're going,"
Yeah,
and we
that's
went.
pretty much it. Mom said that's a.
We went. It was like we're going to private school, and that's all there is to it, and blah blah blah.
I get
So that was why I still remember those not arguments because my father is
I
real.
think he was like not going to argue, like very quiet, like
Yeah, he doesn't. My father,
very
I've
difficult.
never even heard him raise his voice. Like
Yeah.
my father would be, Maria, these children need to go and do such and such. And my mother was like, you need to go in the other room and let me do this.
Parents are-
That'd be the end. That'd be the argument.
That's the argument. I like that. That's a good argument right there.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, it's so funny because I remember sitting at the table and we would, if we agreed with him,
Mm.
we be campaigning, like we want to do X, Y, Z, and my mom would sit there. No.
It's not happening.
Like
I'm
I
sorry.
heard all your arguments.
Mm.
Final judgment, no.
Yeah, short. I do. I'm a metalhead, so metal all the way. I've always been into rock and metal, alternative rock since I was like 12. That's when my dad passed away when I was 12, so my mom kind of was like at that point. Before that, she was all like, only music we had in the house was like gospel type music and R&B, which I did not like in the least bit. But you didn't, whatever was going on in the house is what she said, and that was it. So I didn't listen to my own type of music until I probably was like 12. I mean, I had video game music, thank God, because I could play video games sometimes here and there. But when I was 12, then I got my first CD, which was Corn Issues for my 13th birthday.
Yes.
I turned 13, so, and a CD player. And my grandmother got it for me. It's like the only gift my grandmother ever bought me on my mom's side. So then I was like, yes, my music. Like, so that's the first time I actually got into any metal and rock. And then it's just history from there. So yeah, I'm a metalhead. I play electric guitar and acoustic guitar. And yeah, but I sing a cappella. That's kind of funny. But there is actually metal bands where they have like the opera singer in it, which is really, really, really cool. So yeah, I go on and on about all the crap that I'm into, but let's not, because we're going on for days, for days, people. So the second question for the night is, what steps do you take to get back on track as a writer when you get distracted from your writing? Sometimes I have to take some steps. I'll go first this time. So when I get distracted from writing, it's usually to do with like my life stuff, like my other life stuff, because I'm a writer in this life, and then I'm other stuff in this life over here. But I try to make sure I keep my writer life in my regular life. So when I get distracted, it's usually because I have a 3-year-old and I have to parent, obviously. And then I work. I have like 4 businesses. So I'm an entrepreneur, so I have to do those even when I'm not out in the field working the other ones. Then I still have to do ones on the computer and at home. And I'm a designer is one of my business, so I'm constantly sewing and stuff. So I have orders come in and I'm making costumes and stuff. So I have to try to balance my schedule, and I have to follow. I'm a scheduled person. I really have to follow a tight schedule in order to get everything in. Also, how I work out too, I have to write in there like, okay, workout time is this time of the day, and I have to make sure it's this time because then I have to make sure that I'm home by this time to do this, and then I got my writings at night, and then at night my schedule is busy too. So as soon as I'm done something, I have to run off and do that. So I get distracted by regular life stuff. So sometimes my schedule gets thrown off, and my writing may take a second back seat. But I do get something written, just not many words I would like to get written. So that's why I'm focusing on trying to finish Conqueror's High Astro, because I already know what's going to happen. Life can happen. So the steps I take to get back in it is to revamp my schedule to make sure that I can get my writing in. So scheduling. So that's usually my step. How I get back into it when I get distracted. How about you?
Mine is easy. I don't. I get so distracted. I've spent days lost in the rabbit hole. And to be honest with you, I just go with it.
You know?
I do. Like, I have really, like, it's hard for me to have conversations sometimes because my brain is so cray. And when something pulls focus, I go with it, unfortunately. I don't have any real tools on how to not do that. And you know how people do, like, oh, well, I just turn my social media off, or I just do this, that, and the third, or blah, blah, blah.
It doesn't distract me.
I don't. I don't. So, but in my madness, I'm still always able to do other stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So I wish I could do that thing where I'm like, okay, yeah, now I'm going to focus on this. I got 5 tabs up right now, y'all. I can't. And so I don't even fight it anymore.
Yeah, I feel that. What about you?
Jump into each thing and just do a little of each thing. It works for me now. It didn't always.
I know that's right. What about you, DL? Ain't distracting. What do you do to get from your distractions? If it happens to you, DL, I don't know.
Only time I really get distracted is from the kids, because I got 3, so that's a handful.
I know, man. That's a balancing act right there.
Oh yeah, and work. I usually just kind of keep most of my writing just for the streams during the week. That's kind of like my time I've set aside to write. And before I started doing these streams, I would do it just like whenever. And the only time I really got distracted besides the kids and work was whenever I was doing research. And then once I found whatever I needed, then I was able to just get back to writing.
Yeah. I guess because it's always something for us writers, because we're living, so always something gonna come up. So you have to find a way to get back into it if something distracts you. So let's see what everyone else has to say.
I have a question for Alec. Alec, you say that you do art. What kind of art? Send us your link. I love artists.
No, don't we all us write artists?
Oh my God. Like, I can spend, you talk about distractions. One kid who I work with and have been working with him for at least 3 years now, he sent me a link to something else he was doing. I was there all damn day instead of doing what I was supposed to do.
You're funny.
I need to go.
Scott said the only things that usually distract me are life, family, and situations or conversations on Facebook. It's a problem, I know, but as soon as I hear that ding of a message, I have to check it.
I keep my phone on silent most of the time.
Yeah, dude, I feel you there. I have to. I try to hide it.
I get more trouble for that. They'll try calling you or text you didn't answer.
Yeah, I know. You gotta keep it with you, like glued to your body. Like that's
yeah,
why I feel
don't forget to check it.
Or forget to check it. I feel
Facebook doesn't distract me in the sense where, like, getting into conversations with crazy people on Facebook and stuff like that. Where it is, I use Facebook to communicate with a lot of people, and that's where I get stuck. Right. Like, I spent I think one day me and Stewart were on there for like 3 hours just going back and forth talking. Like, I'll do that in a heartbeat. But
you and I get on it, it's over.
Oh my God, it's over.
We have to try to avoid it. We talking, it's forever. On the phone or not, whatever.
The funny thing that I realized that we were doing that was we were literally in the chat sending voice messages to each other, texting and typing stuff in the chat. I'm like, what are we doing? We are crazy.
I had a friend I used to do that. I'd be on the phone with her and texting her at the same time. Or
I know, you're like, wait, what happened?
It's like having 2 totally different conversations with the same person at the same time.
It's so funny.
Exactly.
So funny.
And we'll be doing it too. It'll be like we'll be talking about a particular subject in the chat. We'll be talking, sending voice messages about something else, and then the group will be sending stuff like about work.
Exactly.
I work for her in one of her departments and for one of her businesses, and we'll be doing all 3 at the same time.
Well, we kind of have to. I mean, one conversation is K. It's like K drama, like Korean dudes, and then the other one is about the convention. And then this one, so we have to. I mean, it's not enough devices for all the conversations we need to have at one time. Michael said I have several projects on the go in various stages of progress, so I will just go from writing projects to writing projects, and it usually works. Hey, that works. See, Alex, I get distracted by food and
That
social
happens.
media. Hmm. Oh, there's the Did you get the link? Did you see the link that Alex put up?
No, I didn't.
I'll put it up on screen
Yeah,
for
I
you.
was gonna say it's not gonna show up on our, and it'll show up for you.
Okay. I will give.
You have to post it.
I will post it.
Oh,
Let me
there
see if
you
I
go.
can actually.
There you go. I see it.
You see it now? Okay. Let me put it back up there so you can get it.
Put it in the chat. No, I'll put it in the chat. Never mind. Oh no, it won't show up for me. You have to do it.
Okay. I don't know. Wow. I'm supposed to do that. Okay.
Alec Williams Art at weebly.com. But yeah, if you retype it, it'll show up in the chat for everybody. It won't let us do it.
Oh, okay. It's like that, huh? I'm the boss, I guess, or some crap.
You the boss. You the moderator.
Mhm.
What do they call it when you're the GOD? You're the for like a D&D game,
Yeah.
game master or something. But
Dungeon Master.
it's GOD.
Yeah, I'm the overseer. That's what I am.
Overseer. That has a different tone.
All right. I will just see copy. I'm gonna go in the private chat. Put it there for you about that.
All right, put it there for me too.
There it is. It's there for you. All right. Let me get that.
I'm not on the StreamYard page. So I'll go back in there and look.
Okay. Let's see who else got what for me here. All right. Firefly says schedule writing, but if something comes up and I feel like it's not going to happen, then I just go with it. Yeah, definitely. That's kind of what happens to you.
Yeah, exactly.
More like just more like what you do to get back into it after that happens, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, I just slipped right back in.
Yeah.
Honestly, because because I'm not really ever 100% out anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be dabbling in like I'm doing now. I'll dabble in a whole bunch of other stuff, and I'll get back and write something special one to say.
Usually, if I fall out of it, then it's usually not just so simple for me to slip back in. Because usually that means when I stop, there's something crazy is gonna be happening. I'm like, it's been 4 days and I haven't written anything, and I'm like losing my shit. Like, why? Like, that type of crap. So I just gotta redo that.
Something wrong. It didn't go to it.
Well, if you go on, I put it in our private chat.
All right, hold on. Let me try.
If I'm distracted when I'm writing, sometimes I need to take a break or to address whatever's on my mind so I can move on. If it's Twitter, Facebook, I'll use a blocker like the Forest app, so I'll stop. I heard about those apps.
I'll do that shit and then won't be able to figure out how to unblock shit.
That's fine. My Facebook is like an online journal of my life for people.
Alec,
all the time.
Oh my god!
Look at you getting distracted already.
I'm sorry. Oh my god, it's so pretty.
Right, so we're gonna start the next.
Oh, draw me.
I think. Yeah, we can start right away. So because we talked for a little bit, way longer than I thought, so we're going to. Because I'm not being a good DM tonight. So we can start the next sprint, which is going to be 20 minutes, and then when we come back, we'll do the third question of the night, and it will just. I guess we'll stop tonight when we feel like it. I'll probably stop at around 10-ish. I would say so. We probably still get another 2 sprints in after this one. I would imagine something like that. All right, ready when you guys are. You ready?
Look at this.
You're so funny.
You see it? It's so pretty.
Hold on. Yeah, I see it. This looks good.
This is Alec. You're gonna make me cry.
I'm giving you screen time, Alec, real quick.
Oh wow, this is so beautiful.
Really nice art. Very nice art. Very nice indeed. All right. All right, so I'm going to go count us out. 3, 2, 1, and right. So we'll be back in 20 minutes. Enjoy your writing.
Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, am I still on mic? I'm sorry. Oh, I love this. It's like Aaliyah. Oh, oh, oh my goodness.
Alrighty, time's up. I heard your thing. Relax. Oh Lord, how did everyone do? Everyone comment on the bottom there.
I'm still fixing the dumb shit. I got distracted by
Okay.
Alex's beautiful work.
Yeah, very good work indeed. A little bit outdated to say. I'll get to look at some more later. Yeah, it looks good. Definitely looks some good work.
It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. Anyway, you're still muted. Oh no, you're not.
Hey, Alex,
But
you got
I'm sorry.
245. Michael, nice.
Michael, what are you working on?
See anybody else posting? I think I did.
Tamara, how close are you, Tamara, to being done?
It's got 275 words. Tamara said through a few pages of edits. How'd you do, DL?
I got about 4 minutes of audio done.
Okay, cool. How much do you think much audio?
Do what?
How much audio do you have to do?
On this one, I got, I think, 47 minutes.
Not bad.
All together. And I think, 20, back up, about 24 minutes into it.
About half, then. All right. That's pretty good.
If I haven't reached the bottom of my my document yet, but because I'm like chapter 15, I'm chapter 15, chapter 6 or 7 of 16.
Mm-hmm.
But if I get to the bottom of it and things didn't fuck up again, I will be done before the night is over.
Awesome. Alex, I have to get 10,000 K words for a daily challenge, and I'm probably about 7,000 K in right now. Good job.
Shit. That's what's up.
Good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do the third question of the night. If you have completed a novel, what is the very first thing you do when you complete a first draft? Or what would be the first thing you would do if you have not completed a novel as of yet? Want to take that one first, Aphrodite?
I will have to base it on what I've done recently.
Okay.
I always kind of shrunk in the background and didn't really share because I would try to share with people, and it didn't go anywhere. Until you all. But what I would do is I would send my first draft to my betas. And I do that a chapter at a time, though. I don't want to bombard anybody. That way, if they don't want to go through the whole thing, they don't have to. But first draft, no matter how shitty I think it is, I let my betas. I let my betas at it. And while they're doing their thing, I'm working on my second draft. As I get notes back from them, if I feel like they're relevant or if they're useful, then I will also incorporate them while I'm doing my second draft. But first draft, I send it out chapter by chapter to the betas, and I immediately start on my second draft while they're devouring the first.
Awesome. What about you, DL?
Yeah, I kind of do the same. After my first draft, I usually send them out to alpha or beta readers or whatever. And if I hadn't done it yet, I usually try to outline the next book in the series about that time. I usually try to do it before I actually complete the first draft. But I know for Sovereign Duties, I didn't do it until after I had completed Medagore, or the Battle for Medagore. So I'm going to try to do it like a little before I actually complete the first draft, because now and then there's a few events that actually need to take place in that book.
Yeah.
Like the one I'm writing on instead of that next one. So I can go ahead and add it in then instead of having to go back and try to rework stuff around.
Right.
Yeah. Makes sense, though. Like that. I think the first thing I usually do, I think, when I first finished Chronicles Cagliostro, I took a break. probably, because I was so like on a push to make sure I finish it because I gave myself a deadline. Because sometimes it's better for me to give myself a deadline because then I'll just linger about. Um, but when I finished it, I think I took about a week break, and then I went back and read through some of it, and then I decided that it was going to be slight edit. I think I edited the first chapter, and then I also let my alpha, which is Aphrodite, I let her read some of it to edit. I think 2 pages of it for me after I edit it, so I can send it to a sample to the woman I was choosing to be my editor, so she can see get a test of it and then see how her editing was. So that way I can get an editor and lined up, even though she won't be starting on editing that. And I finished Chrono Cagliostro last, I think, December 5th, my birthday. And so she won't be getting it until October this year. But so I go back and read it first before I send it to anyone. I have a list of people who want to be betas, and I have an alpha, but I wanted to do now I'm in a revision. So what I would do if wasn't doing a revision, I probably would edit it first myself and then send it off to my betas and alpha, and go from there. That would be my idea of what I would do different next time. So um, that's kind of what I'm doing
I
now.
always with
Hopefully, I would have a revision. Let's pray that doesn't happen again.
yeah, with my writing, like my initial as I go through,
Mm.
every time I finish a chapter, I send a chapter to my alpha.
Yeah, that's cool. Because
Every
I
time.
just think I'm too I don't know, something that I probably wouldn't. Because even though you were my alpha,
You
I
should
finished
have
the
felt
whole
bad because I ain't
Yeah,
read the
I
book
felt bad. Yeah,
yet.
you haven't. You read very little of it. But you'll be the first person to get the first full chapter that I'll send out, and then getting my betas together so I can have that ready. So I do plan on having the revision completed and then a first edit done by the end of September because she gets it October. So I'll probably be sending the first chapters to the betas and the alpha probably around the same time, like a week or two before she would get it, so she could start editing it.
I didn't even send mine off to my editor until I decided that I was done writing the story.
Yeah,
And I really felt like, even though I knew that he was going to find shit,
yeah,
I
yeah,
felt like I told it exactly what I was going to tell. I
yeah,
wasn't changing anything,
yeah,
barring mistakes,
hmm yeah,
or
yeah.
like, because he found mistakes.
Of course, that's
So,
why
like,
I feel on it that way because I
but I
feel
didn't
that I
like,
don't have to. I don't feel that I have to be like wait for the alpha and the betas to give me the feedback before I send it to my editor because even with the feedback that they give me, at the most I could just edit that type of stuff when I get it back from her. I think, and it's not like she's gonna do her job, and then if I think there's if they find some stuff that I find relevant, then I can go back and change that myself. So I'm not too worried about it because once I do the revision, I'm pretty much going to be done because that's the way I want it to be. I think so. I
right.
feel like following that same concept. I'm
I
just
was lucky because my editor, excuse me, our styles, everything is different and stuff. Because he writes as well. He's
yeah.
amazing, actually. But I but he understood what I was doing and what I was going for and what I was saying, even on the stuff that he didn't agree with,
Yeah.
like because we have different comma rules. But he still respected how I wanted it. It wasn't about how he wanted it. So,
Right.
but he caught some shit.
That you wouldn't.
I am so glad he
Yeah.
caught,
Mm.
because I'm going through it and I never would have caught it. It's not like I was like, oh, that's realized that was a mistake. I never would have caught it until he brought it up. And I mess up a lot on idioms,
Yeah.
and in his notes on the side, he would pull it out, like highlight it and say, did you mean this? Because this is what this actually means.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I was like, whoa, I love him. But as far as like rewrites, like I had no intentions whatsoever of
Mm.
changing my story.
Right.
So
Of course.
I
Right.
wasn't like so as far as the editor went, unless he found a major flaw that
Mm.
made sense to me, because people don't take into consideration, like what book two was gonna going to be and book 3 is going to be, and maybe something wasn't explained in one that wasn't supposed to be explained.
This is true.
So I get when I have some of my production meetings, they're like, "Well, Aphrodite, this scene didn't go anywhere," and I just laugh. I'm like, "It went exactly where it was supposed to go. You weren't supposed to know what was next."
Yeah,
I love foreshadowing and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Oh, I got everybody. The thing that was really funny, I sat in my production meeting Wednesday, and everybody got on my ass about. I'm shooting the first chapter of Encounters. Is pretty much the only thing I can shoot, and
yeah.
up until she walks through the first door when she crosses the first sill, and everybody in the room, they were like, "Oh, well, you spent too much time on this and not enough time with that," and I listen. Don't get me wrong, because film is a little different.
Uh-huh.
And but this that and I said, well, the purpose of it isn't for you to know. It is a teaser, and everybody that's interested in the book is very much well, what happens next? Oh, but the people who haven't read it aren't. I'm like, then it's a teaser. And so they were like, oh no, because this isn't going to work, blah blah blah. I really need to read the book, and I bust out laughing. I was like,
Yeah, you
that's
sure you
the
want
point. You
Yeah, you want to. It's called the teasers to get you to read the book.
teaser. Like, oh, I got to know what happens next. I'm like, it served its
Oh
purpose.
my goodness, too funny.
Oh my, it was so funny. Like, I'm sitting there like, why do I have to be at these meetings alone? Why can't my friends be here and see this?
I can see what's
But
happening.
it was so funny when they're sitting there like, no, but okay, but I need to know what happens, and I need to read the book. Can you send me the
Well,
book?
then I guess the trailer is working. Then
It did exactly what it was supposed to do to intrigue you to read it.
So Alex said I put it away for a few days and then come back and do development edits. Michael says the first thing I did was edit the damn thing, self-edited version to betas, and then do a little dance.
That's not a bad idea. We need to all have a dance.
Oh, Alex, I have a published date for Immortal Scars, November 14th. Very nice. Congratulations on the date.
Mine's coming out in November too.
Yep, November
baby.
Yeah. Sky said I go back and start a rewrites right away, mostly to fill the spaces that I skipped before due to research needs.
Mm-hmm.
Good idea. See, go down there, blah 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 blah. Make sure everybody answer the question. Make sure I want to get it. I don't miss it. What's the process for getting an alpha and beta readers on board? I know some people have friends and writing buddies who alpha/beta for them, but what if you're starting from scratch? What I did short is well, of course, I have Aphrodite already. I picked her as my alpha. I was her alpha as well. That made that simple. As far as betas, I have a extensive friend list on Facebook because I'm a performance artist. So I have a big friend list. Not everybody I know. But I do know a lot of the people personally as well. I actually just did a post on there asking if anyone was interested in possibly being beta readers for my books when I do release them. Most of the time, people knew me through my dance name on my Facebook originally. I started using my legal name on my Facebook not too long ago, actually, because it used to just be my stage name. So I have like about 3,000 Facebook friends or something for something high, whatever.
Something crazy.
Yeah, something crazy. So I did end up getting at least about 35 people that said they would be betas for me. And I think it ended up skimmed down to about 20 of those people that confirmed that they want to be betas for my beta group. What I do is I'm going to make a group on Facebook for my beta readers and my alpha be in there. But I mean, it's a little bit different to find an alpha. Usually it's a writing partner, maybe. Or, I mean, there's a lot of Facebook groups for writers and stuff. Possibly you can find an alpha that way. You guys can help exchange and help each other read each other's stuff. Someone like that is ideal. I just blessed up and found Aphrodite because we were friends way before we knew anything about each other being writers way back when. So that's
the cool thing was because with betas, I just asked.
Yeah, that's a lot easier.
I asked everybody. I went on Twitter. I put a post up like, "Hey, wrote a book. Want to be a beta for me?" And I made a form and everything for people to fill out.
Yeah.
I went into every group that I could find on Facebook.
Betas are easier than alpha to find, in my opinion.
The one thing about, but don't get like, I had 21 betas, I think, and by the time I got done, I had 4. So my rule on that is if you want 5 people, at 25. People are not going to come through.
And that's a good point too, Alex. That I did when I did the post for it or the different posts for it. I said what I write, like genre wise, and so I said like, okay, it's a paranormal romance or a paranormal fantasy, romance or something like that. I gave them what the main genre is and then the sub genre, whatever, to see if they're interested in reading that type of thing. Some of the people who have commented on it said, well, I'm not interested in that style book, but good luck and stuff like that. So they definitely mention what kind of genre it is. That way you'll know if they read that type of work. Also, when you do get betas, when you do get some people, you may end up with only 3 people, 2 people, or maybe 5 people that will read it. Because just because you get 25 people don't mean you're going to end up with that. I mean, you might even get some people who just don't get it. You might have to get rid of them. All kinds of stuff is going to come into play.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. But I didn't do that. I made sure that you knew what my book was about, what genre it fell in, what category it fell in, word count, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I did not care if you didn't like that kind of content. As long as you knew what you were getting, you agreed. I love, like, one of my betas, this was great. One of my betas hates coming of age tales, anything that's kind of romantic, anything that's YA, hates it. Only thing she reads are detective stories, hardcore detective stories.
For that person to find something.
I asked her, and I said, will you read my book and give your thoughts on it? I already knew going in she was not going to like it, but I also knew going in that she was smart enough to be able to read it for substance.
Yeah, sure.
So she did end up liking the story because my story is kind of twisty and weird. And there isn't a case in it, but it's still twisty. She gave good information as far as that girl. She caught all the Easter eggs I planted. She caught the foreshadowing. Not all of it. She caught most of it. She hit it from a different angle, and I loved that.
Yeah.
I loved it. I have another beta reader who read. She only reads YA. Well, my book is definitely more YA than anything. And she went in with that YA attitude, and I am telling you, she picked it apart. Like, she went to town on it. After she filled out my little form where the questions that I specifically asked, she would then turn around and email me every single time she finished the chapter with all her notes.
So what Aphrodite is saying is, when you do tell people what genre it is, if they willing to read it, then take them. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to follow all the way through, because really, if you give them a chapter and it's been like, if you have stipulations, then put that in your form. Because another thing I did, and I got this from Aphrodite, is make a form for them to fill out so they can become betas. So that way, after each chapter or whatever, they can fill out the questionnaire. Just make sure your questions are specific to what you want them to answer.
Right.
You're telling them now, like, unless you want that, but they're like, I don't need you to tell me if this grammar or if this comma wasn't in the right spot. I need you to focus on the story.
Right.
And, the actual content.
Thank you. Actual content, plot, like that, because your editor is going to take care of that type of stuff. You're not hiring them as an editor. You need them to make sure they're reading this as a person who's reading a book, and you do not need them to critique grammar or things of that nature. Writers, we know when we F up. That's not how we do first draft.
And that was the cool
thing. You go through and edit like that. That's cool if you want to do that way, but you're going to possibly miss some things because you're a human and we make errors. So you don't need them to do that. You want them to focus in on the story, missing plot holes. I didn't understand this, blah, blah, blah. Did you get this character?
Right.
Type of thing. So make
it clear to them that you want to know the answers to the questions that you gave them.
Yes.
What I did was at the end of my question, because I had very pointed, specific questions that I wanted answers to. At the end, I did leave a space where is there something else you might want to tell me about this particular chapter?
Yeah, but you're going to get people that's not going to
look specific, because otherwise, like when I did my one one of the betas, I don't know what book she was reading, okay, but it wasn't mine. And she's just saying all this weird off the wall. Like one of the questions was like, tell me which character you like the most, and her answer is no. Like,
You're like, wait, what happened?
did I miss something? Like, you can say I didn't like any of them, but that wasn't,
You're gonna be like, no.
And then I'm like, she got to go. She got fired like chapter 2. So, but make sure that they answer the questions that you want.
Yeah.
And then you can give them room, of course, to ask you something specific.
Yeah.
I like to interview the betas.
Yeah.
And that was one note that I got from Jenna Maressi that was hardcore, on point, and perfect.
She's right about
Get them as soon as like they finish it. Hey, come on, let's do this. What was up? What was this? What was that? What were your thoughts? And when I get a consensus, like when I get my because I did mine in Google. I did Google Forms. When I get it all back, it tabulates. And I'm like, whoa, 80% of the people who have read this are saying that they didn't understand what Spencer meant, kind of thing. That wasn't a question, just an example. So maybe I need to think about that. If that many people weren't getting it. But then I had the one who, the detective girl, who was,
Yes, Jenna does.
She just missed anything didn't have to do with deduction. Like if it was romance, it went over her head. Whereas my other betas were like, oh, okay, yeah, because I see this, blah, blah, blah. And I predict that this is going to happen next. I had a thing about what's going to happen next.
What do you
I love how people get it wrong. What do you think is going to happen next?
Yeah.
Girl, she was a mess. But I also took into consideration, I know that she isn't about this genre. So I didn't hold those answers against her, but I also didn't make them viable to my workload because I know she didn't get it. Like, oh, why are they kissing? I think it's stupid that they were kissing. Like, you think that it's stupid that a boy and a girl were kissing because they were boyfriend and girlfriend. Okay, moving on. Like stuff like that.
That didn't help me at all with this book. Like, that type of info does not help at all. But yeah, I mean, you want to definitely, and if someone's taking so long to read one chapter, that you may, like, you can give them a chance if you would like after the first chapter or two, if you want. I'm not saying I would, but if they're taking that long, cut them. Just, they're not interested. They don't have time, whatever. But, you know, people always tell you don't have time, but it's kind of like you either going to make time or you're not. I didn't force you into this. If you want to actually do this and you're a reader and you dedicating to reading this book, because you know me, I don't play, because if I tell someone to read something, I'm on it. Like when Nova sent me something to read, an email, as soon as I had the time and I made time, because you have to make time to do something if you're going to do it, I read it straight through. Bam, done. That's it. So, like I said, I'm starting DL's book tonight. I mean, I'm starting his book tonight. So it's like that. Like if the person, you give them a chapter and they're like, dude, it's like 2 weeks later. Bye. Like, no, we don't have time.
Don't let anybody take your time. You work too hard on that.
Yeah.
Don't let people have your time. That's the one.
I mean, you ask them in the form, like, you know, do you want to continue as a beta? Right. Don't lie to me and say, yeah, but then you're not reading.
At the end of my form, you have an opt-out where you cannot continue any further if you don't want to. And trust me, it was better that way. If you did 5 chapters, you still helped me.
True that.
So I was never salty about it. What I would get upset about is the 15 people additional who didn't even try, who said they were going to.
Yeah, true that.
Why you're not doing me no favor saying you're going to do something that you don't do. But yeah, I had to fire one.
See you tomorrow.
One of them, I had 3 who absolutely finished exactly in the course the way I set it up. And then I had 1 who came in at the last minute and just read them all.
Yeah.
But by the time she did that, I'd already moved on. But I was still grateful that she did it. So again, I had 4 who completed it out of the 21 who said they were going to.
Yeah.
So get 5 times more than what you need. As far as the alpha, you really got to find somebody who you gel with. That's the best way. Like me and DL, we gel. We don't write the same type of stuff. Mm-hmm. We don't have the same opinions on stuff. We don't agree on everything, but we gel as far as our work because I know if she's giving me something, she wants to know, okay, Aphrodite, tell me how is this working? And I tell her, no bullshit.
Yeah.
And she writes me, she does the same thing. You got to find that person.
Yeah.
Somebody who is not remotely afraid to be honest.
Yep.
Because they're not doing you no good if they're not honest.
That's true. That's right. Can't be
At all. Like I would send I could send this stuff off to people and they go, oh, I like it. This was cute. This was this, that, and the third. Or, oh, it wasn't my cup of tea, but it was nice. You are not helping me. I didn't like it because.
You're right about that.
I don't know you not like it.
I am excited about reading DL's books. I know you said you're about halfway through. And the world building is outstanding. Yeah, I know he's a world builder like me.
So go big or go home.
I got it goes right.
Right.
So
y'all already know what happened.
My friend, my editor, who does my editing, he's more like you, DL Stewart. He's the type of stuff that he writes, and then he's oh my god.
Yeah.
All the religions.
So we're going to do our last sprint. So it's gonna be 20-minute sprint, and we'll be out. We'll do our closings, and that should run us to about 10:20 because it's 10 o'clock now. All right, so everyone's ready for the.
Oh wait a minute, yeah, Alec, your friends are not going to help you. They're not. Your friends love you for a whole bunch of other different reasons. It is very doubtful.
You can look up like us and be like we're friends, and we tell the truth about each other's books and stuff like that. Right. So you can look up with that because the real friends are gonna tell you the truth. I'm just saying, like. Tell the truth. Stop being a softie with that. Writers, we need to hear the truth, man. Just saying.
99% of the people who I deal with on a regular basis said that they would read and didn't.
Yep.
And didn't. Straight up. If it was not for AuthorTube, I met lots of people through AuthorTube. People who have read my book, I met through AuthorTube and dealing with them on Twitter. It's just that simple. My patrons read. My patrons give me notes. My betas, I call them the collective. They read. They give me hella notes. Like y'all just don't know. Like build a group. I'm telling you, get a community. Because the DL, am I wrong? That has been amazing. They go in and fight with each other. It's great. Did I lose sound?
I'm still here.
Oh, because it went weird all of a sudden. Oh, the net went weird.
Yeah, she looks like she's froze.
Yeah. But anyway, on that tangent, if you have 2 or 3 good betas in the end, you did really great. Anybody who wants my beta form, let me know. I'll send it to you. And you can just tailor it to your own needs.
Yeah, I think I ended up having like 7 betas that actually followed through.
I wish I would have had 7, but I did at least have 4 good ones.
Yeah, I had, I think it sent out to like 20 or 25 different people.
Yeah, exactly.
And most of them didn't even do the first chapter. There's a couple that did like 3 or 4 chapters, and so that other things came up and they couldn't finish it or whatever.
And that does help, though.
Oh,
that did help because my one friend, she only got through the very first chapter, and I understood that. But she also let me know I can't go any further. She didn't just drop off the face of the damn earth.
Oh, and I'm the kind that I'll poke at them. I'll be like, "Hey, you had a chance to read it yet?"
I literally, when I gave you the chapter, you only had a certain amount of time to get back to me, or your information wasn't going to count.
Yeah, I usually told them about like a week or 2.
Sure.
After that, and then I kind of messaged them like, "Hey, have you had a chance?" And then after that, if I don't hear back, then oh well.
I'll put it on screen. Short said, could I please have a copy of your beta form? So
I will definitely get it for you.
But you guys can go ahead and start sprinting because I already started the timer.
Schuler, do me a favor though. Find me on Facebook. Find me on Facebook. Wait a minute, let me put my whole name up here because I don't have it on YouTube.
Yeah, Michael, you can, just try some of the tips we said. You have a Twitter. If you're starting with a branding as an author and you want to start your branding before you're even published, in my opinion, it does help to do that. That means putting yourself everywhere you can on the internet. This is as far as free branding, meaning you put yourself on Twitter, you have a Facebook, you have a Facebook page, fan page, let's say, an author page. Um, you want to have a YouTube channel if you can start that, whether you're uploading regular videos or not. That takes a little more time to get into if you have a schedule for that. But you want to try to start an Instagram, anything you can put yourself on social media to get your name out there, also to talk about yourself, what you're going to be offering as an author. If you haven't done that, that branding right there will open you to doors to post, to find people who want to beta your stuff. Because you it's not that hard to find beta so much as it's hard to find an alpha that you mesh with. But yeah, definitely try that because I have a whole video series about branding as an author. I have on my channel, and there's some things you could do for our social media, easy things to get yourself your name out there that you can find people through beta that way. So when I start doing my beta call, which I did one already, but then when I do another one, I'll do one on my YouTube channel. I'll post again on Twitter. I have a bunch of people from Facebook, stuff like that. But yeah, that's one way you can definitely look for beta readers for sure.
Skylar, I love that. Okay, Skylar Short. Gotcha.
Yes, no, but I see you said that you beta read sometimes, but you're very honest in your reviews. Yeah, I did a since I did a book review for Aphrodite on Encounters, I did a arc review, and they are free. So I did so I did do an arc review for Aphrodite Encounters, and then I did, of course, I put the review on Amazon. So I purchased a copy, and I got a copy from her for the arc that was free. Um, so when I did that, then someone else saw that I did a review for erotic tales, and so they sent me their book. And they emailed me first and asked would I be willing to review it, and I told them yes. And they sent me a physical copy of the book, which I am very appreciative of. I didn't end up doing the physical review for the book in the end. I did them a private review because I felt that that was more needed to the author instead of me putting a review out just because they sent me a copy of it. I'm in the belief that as a respectable writer, and I respect other writers, I'm not, if I have nothing good to say or too much negative to say, I'm not just going to go put the review out, even though that's what they requested from me. I prefer to give them my thoughts first and possible advice privately. And if they wish for me to go ahead with the review, then I will at that point. That's just my opinion of how I like to do it because I do respect all writers in their work. So I don't want to just put a review out because I personally don't like the book. It doesn't mean that no one else would. And I know people like, well, you need to warn other readers. Like
No, you
that's
don't.
not really how that is.
That's not how it works. I
Right, there
hear
should be an
people say
arc
that.
review. They're sending me an arc reviews because they want, they want a review before and like advertise before the book comes out. But also, if there's going to be issues with the book, I'm going to tell the writer before I put that review out. Because if I put that review out, that would not be good for them in no shape or form, no matter how you look at it. Even though I'm not anyone, people read reviews, and whether it's a no one or not, they're going to listen to that. So
But
that
I
could be
mean, like I agree with you 100% on that. Like I would definitely, I'm always going to be honest. If
right.
if a writer asks me for a review, I'm going to give them an honest review.
Yeah.
But so that's never in
I mean, I
question.
asked them when I emailed them. I said, this is what I want to do. I want to send you this information first, and then if you still want me to put the ARC review out, if you want me to review it and put the video up on YouTube and send you one on Amazon, then I will do that. But I'm just going to let you know now, it's not going to be in your favor at this point. I have very few pluses about this book that I would give right now. It's not. It's a turn off for me as a reader. I'm not sure what demographic you're looking for currently, who you want to read this, but as a female in my age range, the interest in this is in not pulling me in. I just went into a lot of details. I went to like grammar in the book. Even the format of the book was kind of like not eye catching. I went into everything I could in order to help them before the book was released. Even though it's just one person's opinion, if they want to take anything I said and take it to heart and then put it and use it for the book, that's great. If not, that's totally fine too. But I want it to be honest as possible. I came at it as a reader first, then I came at it as a writer. And I'm by no stretch of the of the word a editor whatsoever, but I know I can spot other things in other people's work before my own because it's mine and I see
Oh,
mine.
yeah, that's a given. But Eva, just to be clear, I'm not saying that giving a bad review is a bad thing to do.
Oh,
I'm saying that I'm not, and I agree with you as far as like you, if you have to be honest about stuff. Like I don't like when people are just blowing smoke up someone's ass. But if just because you wrote a bad review on someone's book isn't, I wouldn't consider it a warning. I would consider that your opinion. And I don't look at it like, oh, Eva hates this book, and for whatever reason, like legit reasons. I'm saying it's a bad book, and Eva hates it. That I still wouldn't base my choice on what just because you said that. And so that's what makes me upset with people when it's like, oh well, I'm going to do this because I wanted to be warned. And if I listened to everybody, I wouldn't read anything because
sure.
there are people who put down everything.
Everything's being put down.
So I mean, like I went on Goodreads today, and you can just find like a billion things about how Harry Potter sucks, and a billion things about how Harry Potter doesn't suck.
Yep.
So you still have to end up making your own decision on whether or not you're going to buy something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I wanted to be clear on that because a lot of people were trying to come at me before about like, oh well, no, I'm not ever going to do reviews on my channel. That's not going to happen.
No.
And any of my author friends who ask me for a review, I will give them a review.
That's different.
That's different. But I'm never ever going to buy a book, hate it,
and then
go give a bad review. I'm never going to do that.
I'm in the sense of I'm with Aphrodite, and I'm in the sense of that's my opinion.
I'm going to move over and get another book.
Right, because okay, like Stephen King. I know I'm a horror reader and a writer. I have read most all of Stephen King's books in most cases, and I have seen mostly all the movies based from the books. I prefer the movies over the books. I do not like a lot of people love it. People love it, the book. I do not like it, the book, but I do like it, the movie. Now, I would never take it and review it because there's no point because I don't like it. Now, in a sense of like, well, everyone has different opinions, and then
Stephen asked me to review it, I review it.
That's different. But in the sense of your opinion matters about this much. I mean, if I go on Amazon to purchase something, I do check reviews. Now, if I see an item and it has like 1 star because so many people are giving it 1 star, then I might be like a little hesitant. But when it comes to books, usually doesn't faze me in the least bit because it's all opinion based. Now, you're talking about this book is here and this grammar is so bad I cannot read this book, and it's coming from every single person that's reviewing this book, then I might be like, wow, well, they probably need to re-release that if it's that bad. But I really honestly have never come across that to the point where it's unreadable and so many people were saying it. So yeah, that hardly ever happens. You may get a book and you get really big pop-up books that have like, a comma missing or this word is missing this letter because even editors aren't perfect. But never has that stopped me from liking a book that you get people reviews on Amazon and be like, oh my God, this person missed this word in this book and now the book is ruined and I cannot read it. If I read a review like that, I'm going to be like putting my proverbial finger up at it, because if you could take your stuck up self somewhere else because 1 word was misspelled or 4 words weren't right in the book and it ruined the whole story for you, maybe you need to learn to focus on what a book is about. Oh, right, the story. So that type of thing, that's why I say your opinion is just that, an opinion. So that's why I don't do book reviews really unless the author contacts me. And with Aphrodite's book, I didn't say, Aphrodite, I'm going to pull you aside and I need to tell you what this review is going to say. I didn't do that with her. But when I knew that my review was going to be more based.
But you did warn me because I knew that you were going to do the review. And I knew that everything wasn't going to be 100% perfect and honky-dory.
Yeah.
You give me that, and I really did appreciate that.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like that's the one reason I felt more that my review for that book was going to be a critique and it was not a review, because a review to me would only have to do with the story and how it was going through, and if it was going smooth, if I understood the plots and things like that. And I didn't feel that I could even get through the book because the grammar and things were not on par. That so much so that it was distracting me from the story. And I'm not easy to distract from a story when it grabs me. So if I thought that a person was using, let's say, a repeat word too much, because all us writers have that word that we
Oh,
use too
Lord.
much, and if you're using it to the extent that it's distracting me from the story, then that's something to address at that point. And I felt the need to tell the writer that it's no way I could really. I read the entire book, but it distracted me the entire time. Let's say a key point like that. I was not going to do a review on that book, because then if I bring that up as a writer, what does a reader know about that? Really, I mean, that's more my eye as a writer, because I just kept seeing it and kept seeing it and kept seeing it. It's possible a person could miss that, and that's the way they speak and they wouldn't realize it. But at some point I felt like it's no point me do this review and put it out. It's too much stuff that needs to be done before this book really releases, in my opinion. So I told them that. And I said, again, if you want me to release this review, I will do that, whether it's bad or not. And it would have been bad. But they didn't reply back, so I assumed that was a no. So I'm gonna take that as a no. So yeah.
Yeah, but I'm never gonna do. I'm never gonna take the time out of my day to put another writer down. I'm just not going to.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's kind of like,
but like for instance, like Stewie, I'm getting ready to read Stewie's book. He wants me to read it, and like I'm gonna damn for sure get some feedback on the book, but I'm gonna be giving the feedback to him, not to the world.
yeah. So I'm going to do, after I read DL's book, I am going to do a reader's review on Amazon. So
Oh yeah, I got you on that too. I'll make sure I do that because
of
you
course,
want your Amazon stuff.
and
But
I'm looking
again,
forward
this
to
is something that was asked. I would not go pick up J.K. Rowling's book and go do a review on it. I'm just not going to do that.
Yeah, I
yeah,
usually just leave star reviews on a lot of stuff unless somebody asks me, then I'll actually do it.
Right. Somebody asked me, that's different. Somebody asked me, I'm going to give them
well,
exactly
they asked me, so
what.
you get what you get when you,
Right.
you asked me. But I
But I
mean,
do have a question. Michael said that he put a 1-star review on someone's review. I didn't know you could do that.
oh
You can
yeah, it's kind of
review
like
a
down
review?
some in it, or you can one star. Like, this did not help me at all. Like, you can do that
Oh,
on Amazon in
I
most
didn't
cases.
know that.
Like, you'll see people like star a review, like this review is helpful. They'll, or there's sometimes it'll say, was this review helpful or not, type of thing.
Oh, I didn't
Um,
know that.
so yeah, I mean, some people just like, I was saying to someone yesterday, because I'm on Thumbtack, because I own a cleaning business, and someone else, it's lots of business on Thumbtack, and this dude who cleaned windows was on there, and the woman I cleaned for was asking, do you think, like, because he has like 5-star review, but there's like this one person who put 1 star, but they didn't say anything. I'm like, you pretty much had to take that person with a grain of salt.
Right,
Because
true.
if they put 1 star and said nothing about his work, what am I supposed to get from that? But everyone else is giving the man 5 stars. So either you're just a picky person and was annoyed because he didn't do extra work for X amount of money.
Or they had
That's what I'm
a
saying.
job for one person.
That's what I'm gonna think, because unfortunately, just like in any industry that you work in, you can't please everyone, So it's same thing with writing. You're not gonna please everyone. They're not gonna like everything you write, but you wrote it nonetheless. So
Right.
there's that. Oh my, oh my. So we got about three minutes left in the sprint. So I
Oh,
didn't
shit.
really.
But we're supposed to be sprinting?
I said that everybody could start sprinting, but we were
Oh,
talking. I'm sure y'all gonna be writing after we off here anyway. And DL has work to do, so I'm sure he will be.
Yep.
He'll be working. Oh my goodness. But I do love our chats because it gets a lot, that gets a lot done too, because writers do need to ask themselves questions. That's how we get
true.
through our lives as writers, because you gotta ask questions. Ask yourself plenty of questions.
Well, I do definitely like the whole thing for like the beta questions and stuff because that was my scariest thing. Like I was terrified,
Of
first
course,
of all, for the beta
you handed your stuff off to someone else. Like,
but
that's
I didn't
scary
know,
anyway.
I didn't even know what I was doing. Like I didn't know how I was going to do it.
Figured
And
it out though.
again, I mean, I done dropped this girl's name twice already, but again, I hit Jenna up and I was like, Jenna, help me, please. I know you have a life and you don't know me, please help me because I'm losing my mind. And she fucking did. Like
Yeah,
she
yeah,
walked
I
me
like
through all
them.
of it.
And that girl's so funny. I'm like, girl, you probably should have called in and
Oh my
company
god,
or
no,
something.
she crazy all the way. Like so some of the shit she said to me, I couldn't even repeat, but she was so fucking. But she helped me, and that was the point. Like she doesn't know everything, but
No,
she has her experience, and she helped based on what she does do. And she literally took the time out. I mean, this is like 2 3 years ago now. She
yeah,
took the time out for somebody who she didn't know,
right,
and she helped me. Like she did
right,
not have to do that. And then
yeah,
every single time I have gone to her, because I was crying to her last week about some shit.
yeah.
Every time I've gone to her, she's always helped.
It's really nice when someone is personable in a way. Even they made time for you because it's always a choice. So that's really really helpful, and that's why I do like the indie world of writing because you
Right.
can actually you can't go and talk to Stephen King really or like
You
already
might be
have
able
a
to
choice
talk
on for your
to
writer, but I can't go and talk to him like message him be like, hey. That's why I was like so shocked when I messaged Todd Lockwood and he like emailed me back. I was like having a conniption fit because I'm like starstruck,
and
obviously.
you know
Oh my
me.
god, it's Todd Lockwood. I'm like running back and
You
forth.
know
Like
me
Todd
by
Lockwood
now.
emailed me. Like,
I reach out to all kinds of celebrities, and I actually have celeb friends now.
well, girl,
It
like
took years to build those
you were in
relationships.
Cali, so you have like celeb friends and stuff anyway. So
I
it's
mean,
not
plus
like
I'm a
you
hoochie.
surprised me.
It
Yeah,
helps
well,
to be a
you
hoochie.
kind of have to be in a celebrity. I don't know how that's gonna work, but
It
you
helps to be a hoochie. It helps.
just a little bit, just a little bit.
I'm just
All right, so our time is almost up. We got 45 seconds. So if anyone else want to post what you wrote during that little chat we had going on. If you didn't write anything, that's fine too. I'm sure you learned a few things from our little talk. Because as writers, we can always learn something from each other. Small, big writers, all the same. As long as we're willing to talk, then we actually can teach each other plenty of
a
things.
gaming con. I'm sorry. I'm reading Skylar's message.
Oh, that's cool.
I just realized I
Cool.
said that out loud.
You fun. It's a gaming con, but there are a lot of authors and artists there. Yeah,
I
cons
love Altitude, and I love you guys so much. Like I can't even define it. I love you guys so much. Sometimes I forget literally like we are virtual friends. We don't even DL Tillery, I don't she lives far from me. I don't get to see her.
Yeah,
This
we
is
live in the same
brother.
state, but we're just like,
She's on the other end of the state. She's
the other end of the state. Yeah. I'll
so
be
we
crazy
know each other.
sometimes to drive down her way, but I don't get
And I
down.
can't drive anywhere. I'm not allowed to drive.
Yeah, so I'm like, we don't see each other a lot. Okay, Michael said you got 122 words. Good job, Michael.
I know
Right.
that's right.
Oh my goodness. Well, I
Oh my
did.
God, I made Skylar. Check this out. One of my stories, me and my niece, we have the same initials, HAL. So we decided that we were going to write a story together. She's writing the middle grade version. I'm writing the YA version, right? We took that story and I made a board game. And I'm still developing it and getting it done and stuff now. Hopefully by next year, that game is going to be for sale.
Yeah, that's always cool. Board
I'm
game.
so excited about that. It's so much fun.
All right, so you guys ready to do your closeouts for everyone? We'll let DL go first.
Talking about that board game, I actually made a risk board.
Oh, did you?
A what?
Upside down. Yeah, there we go. A risk board with the different kingdoms of Metagore.
Oh, wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, I had some extra poster boards. I had done a project for somebody and I had a couple extra.
Dude,
So I was like, yep, I'm going to do that.
Dude, that's so
do
awesome.
it. You gotta make it into a game.
I'm sorry, you got a bunch of nerds here, my boy. So you saw showing stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna get character cards for the different characters you have. Cause y'all, I don't know if y'all go to his channel, find his videos. He has art for all of his characters.
Yep.
Not all of them, but
Well,
yeah.
a lot of them. A lot of
I
them.
got like 8.
So
Yeah.
I want to do character cards, and I'm trying to find an artist that I can work with, and that's reasonable. When I mean by reasonable, I believe in my heart artists should charge what they charge. I will never. I hate when people say, "Oh, they charge too much." They charge what the hell they want, and they feel they're worth. But I need to find somebody that I can afford. Is what I mean.
Oh yeah, I like those.
Yeah, I got bookmarks made.
Awesome.
Let me see it.
I got glare on it, but yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Oh, it's beautiful.
That's awesome. That's a good idea, actually, Dio.
Right.
Yeah,
The
that's what I had
bookmark
them
with the
for.
characters on it.
So I
And
want to
then,
see some character cards so we can have some trading cards.
yeah, I was
dude.
talking about the short was asking about the character cards, and I said, well, as far as my character cards, just I usually do a picture of the character on it, and then a description of the character, or maybe a partial of the bio. That's usually what I do with my character cards. So that'd be a good one, actually, DL. The bookmark, like do the picture on the front, and then do like the bio on the
Yeah,
back.
on the back I have
You can do it on
or that
Move.
one I don't. Those are mess ups, but on the regular ones I have for like book signings and hand out,
Yeah,
it's got the picture of the actual book on the back, like one of those
cool.
3D things.
Yeah.
And it has the title of the book, my author name,
Mm.
and then the name of the character that's on the other
I
side.
like that.
If you
And
make
it has
it
a link to my website.
sorry. If you make it on Move, you can change the fronts of every one of them.
Let me check that.
Like
link.
Move is where I made all my mini book covers.
Yeah.
Because the book covers, all the book covers needed to be different, but the inside is the same.
Yeah.
So on Move go to move.com. I'm telling you, if go to Move, you will lose your mind there because you literally can have your information on the back, and the information on the back will have to be the same,
Yeah.
but the fronts of every one can be different,
Alec,
and it doesn't cost extra money to do it.
go down in
Yeah,
the
I did mine
description and
on
click
Vistaprint.
on DL Stewart's YouTube link, and I'll see the author
Check out Move.
author tribe part. Go on that and click on his YouTube channel, and all his other links that he has is on his channel. So you can go in his videos and get links to his books and everything. I do have his link up here for his channel separate and for his books, for his book to purchase it. But the links sometimes when you do put them down there, they may mess them up with YouTube. So it happens all the time.
Yeah, all my other social media, everything is D Elster -author.
Yeah, you can find him easy.
And on the video right here.
Yeah.
And my website's DLsterAuthor.com, and all my links are on there as well.
Yeah. So you can find him.
I live on his channel, you guys.
Yeah. So DL, you want to go ahead and do your closeout? I'll let you go first.
I'm DL Stewart over here. There we go. All right, adult medieval fantasy. My debut novel, The Battle for Medagore, came out back in May. I'm currently working on the second book in the series. It's going to be a 4-book series. I have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube. I have a website. I have a blog on my website, which has got a bunch of random stuff. I've done a couple book reviews on there from people that's reached out and asked me to do them. And I got some histories. I know somebody mentioned earlier about my world building. I have like 7 blogs on there about different histories of my book, or the different kingdoms or whatever. And that's on there in my blogs.
That's awesome.
I got some song lyrics whenever I used to make music up on there, and a bunch of other random things. Also have a newsletter on my website you can go sign up for. If you sign up for it, you'll get the first 2 chapters of my novel, The Battle for Medagore, sent to you for free for you to be able to read it and decide if you want it or not. So yeah.
Or go on Amazon and get it right now for 99 cents.
No, that ended.
That
was July.
I was lucky.
Yeah.
But you still get it for a really good price. I think I purchased the physical book for $12. I think it's usually $14, right?
Yeah, it's $14.99.
Yep, I think that's a really good reasonable price actually. I like my physical books, so yeah.
Yeah, the ebook is $4.99.
Yep.
I prefer physical books.
Yeah, I like to turn the page. I like the feel and the smell of the pages. That's just me, right? As you can see, the library behind me, so I like physical books.
My library starts with my staircase and makes it throughout the house.
That's right. Aphrodite, you want to do your closeout?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I talk so much. I right now Encounters is on sale for 99 cents for the rest of the summer. So if you haven't already got that, it's under Minx Kenosha, not Aphrodite Lee, because Aphrodite Lee is an innocent person and Minx is a slut. She writes the nasty stuff. And I think the physical book, this bad boy, y'all see it?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's $4.99 or $5.99. I don't remember. For the rest of the summer. There's that. In November, I have my novel release party for my actual novel for Shattered and I'm auditioning next week to get more cast. I need some more boys. We're filming an actual trailer. It's gonna be like a movie trailer. I'm filming a trailer.
Yep.
I forgot what else. It was something else I was supposed to tell you all. Oh, for all my writer friends, if you have a book that you want to include in my novel release, because I'm having a big party and I want an area for my indie authors. So if you have a book that you want to contribute to it, message me on Twitter or Facebook and let me know that you want to do it. It's not till November, so if you're not done, you still have time. And also, if you are not going to be done even by the end of November, if you want to do a 3-chapter teaser kind of thing, hit me up and I can help you put that together. Okay, so we can do some stuff.
Yes, short actually encounters is available through Amazon. I have her link below. You actually can go on that link and go to purchase
Yes,
encounters.
Skylar though, it's adult. I just want to say that, and it's
If
under
you,
men's Kenosha.
it is adult, it's encounters, is erotica. If you go down, you scroll and look under where I say buy his book, that is DL's book, and then right under that it says buy her book, and it has Amazon encounters. That's the link for that. Or you can go look it up and look up encounters to seven erotic sins right on Amazon. It will come up. Yep, happen to be an
Oh,
adult.
see, Skylar worked, right? Okay. Skylar's like, I happen to be an adult.
Yep.
So yeah, check
That's
it
always good.
out. Check it out. I think that people will like it because again, it is very smutty. But if you took the smut out, you still had stories. So
Yes, it's a very, very, very
I
good.
didn't leave you hanging. It wasn't just about
It's very good.
the body parts.
I've read it. I've read it a lot. It's very good. So I'm author DL Tillery. This is my channel. As you know, we will be here on Tuesdays and Saturdays, every other Tuesday on my channel, and then on Tuesday we're on Aphrodite's channel. DL will join us when he is able. Um, right now, only thing I have going on is I am, as I said, revising Chronos Cagliostro, which is my debut novel. It is a 3-part book series currently. If you want to read any of my work, you can go to my website, which is linked below. I do have some free short story, one of my horror stories on the website, Room Within, which actually probably I'm going to do a print of at Aphrodite's release party if I can get the illustration done for it, because it's going to be a graphic novel. So you do get to go read that for free right now. And I do have a Patreon where you can read some stuff is released free to the public. If you are a dollar member, then you get everything I put on there. But I do poetry on there, and I also do poetry monthly on my website that you can check out when you would like. So yeah,
And
right now
Patreon. You have a Patreon.
I do have a Patreon. So that I don't think I have that link below, but you can look me up under author DL Tillery pretty much anywhere, and all my stuff will come up. There's not pretty much anybody else with my name as I have abbreviated. DL's trying to steal half my name, but that's okay.
I can't get away from that.
I know, man, it's hard.
Like I mentioned before, I grew up with a lot of Dereks.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't control that. But I got to say, I haven't seen many Jeanette Tillerys, so I don't really come across them because my name's British. So, and now if I go to
Lucky, I'm lucky because there were quite a few hopes, but there were no Aphrodites.
Yep. I didn't run across a problem with my name, so that's one thing about me. Now, I don't really care for my name, but it is what it is. But so I didn't run across that. But yeah, so you can check any of my stuff out there.
DL1 and DL2.
Yep, DL1, DL2. That's right. We're the DLs. Watch out.
It's DL to the second power.
But so I will be back to releasing pre-recorded videos probably in a couple weeks. I have to get my new program, but I will be doing live streams. Like I said, I will have one on my channel every Saturday and every other Tuesday on my channel. So that's really fun. We get to talk a lot and we get to write a lot. So that's always fun to do.
One of my closest friends is named Eva. Eva is like one of my favorite names.
Oh yeah, Eva's a good name.
I love that name.
As far as my books releasing, I do have lots of plans for books releasing next year. Chronos of Cagliostro is planned for a winter release. Currently that's probably in January, early February. Fingers crossed. Right now, but I'll be releasing a for sure date once I get it sent off to my editor and know when I'm gonna get that back. So you can find out a lot about Chronos Cagliostro on my channel and on my Patreon. I actually have the character art was done by artists. You can check that video out if you have time. I think Short actually saw that video, so thanks for looking at that. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We love the chat. We love the writing. Everything was
We love
great.
you.
You guys rock from joining us. So we will see you Tuesday and on Saturday. So hopefully, if you got time for us.
Is
All
it
right.
is it my week this Tuesday?
Yeah, I believe so. Right? Or
I
what?
gotta, I gotta get my shit together. Okay.
I think it. No, it was my turn. It's
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. Then I'm all right.
you did it this week. So Tuesday coming up will be on my channel. So I'll have Tuesday and Saturday next week. All right, everybody. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Bye.
You guys are amazing.